Hi, I'm Tracy Williams, and I'm a transformational speaker. You might be saying, what do you mean by transformation? Well, I think that transformation, the best way I could probably describe it is that transformation and motivation. Transformation is when you totally change, like not just for right now, not just for this season, but for a lifetime. There's lifetime change. It's like your habits shift. Motivation is emotional. It's like kind of in the moment. You know, you hear something good, you see something that moves you and inspires you, and right at that moment you become a prisoner of it, and you feel like, wow, I'm changed forever. But later on, the vicissitudes of life and things come along, and it kind of dulls or bring you down, and before long you're right back where you started, if not even lower. And so you might be thinking, what's the difference there? Again, is because transformation is when you create an atmosphere that continually speaks to what you want to do with your life. You know, it's not just something you heard, but it's something you see, something you hear, something you feel all the time. You create a whole atmosphere. If I had to say what really moves me, I would have to say in my life is my passion. You know, when I created my company for personal development and things like that, it was based on the passion, doing what you're passionate about, things that wake you up in the morning and put you in the bed at night. That's your passion. For those of you who didn't know, that's what that's all about. Something that just, you love it so much that even being tired, being hungry, none of that stuff stops you. You're on a quest to get this thing done. That's your passion. It's a fire. It's like in the Bible, they said the bush that was burning, the burning bush, but yet it wasn't consumed. You're on fire for something, or this purpose that you got in your life, but yet it doesn't burn you out. In other words, if you get burned out about what you're doing now, then that's not your passion. I'm just going to be straight and simple with you. It can't be your passion, because again, it's a fire that burns, but it doesn't consume. Think about that. When I say passion in my life compels me, one of the things, the anecdotes or analogies that I use is that Mel Gibson did a movie not too long ago called The Passion of the Christ. I think that the reason he named it The Passion of the Christ because he wanted to kind of denote how committed Christ was to what he was supposed to do. Now, with that said, he could have called it the commitment of the Christ. He could have called it the devotion of the Christ. He could have called it the dedication of the Christ. But he understood that passion was a stronger feeling. It was a bigger thing than those things I just said. See, in other words, when you look at when people are married, most people are married and they're committed based on conditions. In other words, if you treat me right, I'll stay married to you. If you make me feel good, I'll stay married to you. See, all of those things, that commitment is based on some conditions there. Now, passion goes far beyond the conditions. In other words, you won't stop even when you don't have any money. You won't stop even when you don't have the resources that you need. You won't stop even when you feel tired and worn out. That's what passion does to you. And you may say, Tracy, so I lack passion, but I want to have that kind of passion. So where do I start? Well, I always tell people, take a piece of paper, take a napkin, write it on the wall, write it anywhere. Write down the thing you would do if you didn't have to worry about paying your bills. Write down the thing that you would do if you weren't afraid of what could happen if you did it. Now, the only rule I give you is that whatever that thing is that you write down, make sure that it doesn't destroy other people's lives, but it builds their lives. I always say it's two ways to make a fortune in life. You can make it at the expense of others, i.e. drug dealer, whatever, or you can make it at the service of others. You know, create something that help people in life. Number one rule that in sales is that find a need in that community and fill it. Find a need and fill it. That's sales right there. It's easy to sell people things that when they know they need it. So when you find that thing that you would love to do, but if you didn't need to make money off it, write that down. And it's probably going to be, and I'm not talking about a hobby. If you like to fish every now and then because it's relaxing, I'm not talking about that. That thing you would love to do, maybe it's singing. Maybe it could be playing music. It could be dancing. It could be, something like that. You can do it. And once you write that down, start to think about what are some of the things that you could do right now. And it could be real small. That's some changes that you can make right now that'll start taking you closer to that. Now, I'm not telling you go out and quit your regular job, your day job right away, at least not right away. But just start yourself on that course, in that direction, towards your passion. And I guarantee you that as you start to doing that, you're going to start to feel better. You're going to start to think better. Because I believe that passion is a spiritual thing. When we do the thing that we were born to do, it feeds us just like your food nurtures this physical body. When you do what you love to do, it nurtures your life force. That spirit that dwells within you. Because see, I don't believe that we're human people who one day go to church or temple or someplace like that and have a spiritual experience. I believe we're spirit beings having a human experience. I believe that this is not the end of who we are. I don't think when we were born it was the beginning. I think it was something there in the middle. When you start doing that thing that makes you so passionate, you're going to start living better. And when you start living better, things are going to get better for you. Now, we're going to talk a lot about this as the days and weeks and years go on, because we're going to have passion points every week here. But I wanted to kind of give you a genesis or the beginning of why it's even called passion points. And I always tell people, take your passions and turn it into profits like money. You got to do the Bible says that a man's treasure is where his heart is. And what's your heart? That's what you love. That's what you're passionate. God was telling us right then. He was giving us a success seminar. He was saying that if you do what you love to do, the money's going to come. If you do what you're passionate about, I guarantee you, if you tap the courage, overcome the fear, there's going to be fear. I always say that most people are afraid to do something. I'm afraid too, but I'm afraid not to do it. Well, they're afraid to do it. Most people got a million reasons why they can't follow their passion. Well, I'm only looking for one reason to follow mine. If you decide to do this, your treasure is going to be at the end. I guarantee it. I said nobody can follow their passion and stay broke. I remember one day I said that in a seminar and a lady came up to me afterwards. She said, well, I don't think that's the case all the time. And I said, no, it's all the time. She said, absolutely. I said, absolutely. Positively? I said, positively. She said, I can name somebody that did something that they were passionate about and they weren't rich. I said, I bet you can. She said, yes, I can. I said, give me one. And the people were standing around listening. And she said, Mother Teresa, you believe she was passionate about what she did with her life? I said, sure, I know she was. She affected this world. That's when you do what you're passionate about, you will affect this whole world. And said, she didn't have any money. She was passionate about what she was doing. I said, see, Mother Teresa won the Nobel Peace Prize, right? She said, yes, she did. I said, now they don't advertise this part about that prize because they don't want that to be the object of the prize. But when you win the Nobel Peace Prize, I don't know if they put it under the medallion that they give you, but there's a check there. When Martin Luther King, I think when he won it back in the 60s, I think it was $1 million that they gave you. I could be wrong with that number, but I know if it wasn't then, I know now. They give you a check along with it. Now see, Mother Teresa took a vow of poverty. So she took that money and she gave it to the hungry children and naked children of Calcutta, where she's from in India. And she used it to feed and clothe children because that was her passion. That was her ministry. Now, in other words, what am I saying? Mother Teresa was a millionaire. Before she died, she was a millionaire. Now, what she did with it, you gave it away. That was, you know, it was her decision to do that. And I said, so see, I am right. Whatever, it's impossible to live your life doing what you're passionate about and stay broke. This is Tracy Williams with another Passion Point. See you next time.